Hey guys, Cyril here from Defunct Games, and this is the first of what I hope will be a regular feature where I talk about things that I've noticed. Sometimes it'll be about games, and sometimes not. Here are the things I've noticed for January 16, 2015. Nintendo is bad at naming. As you probably already know, Nintendo announced that the new 3DS will be hitting North American shores on February 13. With very few exclusives and a $200 price tag, I'm having a hard time getting excited about this new hardware. Instead of counting down the days until release, I've been thinking more about the awful name. New Nintendo 3DS? It's as if the company purposely named it to confuse the market. And that got me thinking about how Nintendo had a similar problem when releasing the Wii U. Neither the name nor the commercials made it very clear that the Wii U was a whole new console and not a controller for the existing hardware. I think it's time to admit that Nintendo is awful at naming consoles. Just look at Nintendo's last 9 portables. There was the Nintendo DS, the DS Lite, DSi, DS XL, 3DS, 3DS XL, 2DS, new Nintendo 3DS, and now the new Nintendo 3DS XL. They should have just gone with Super Nintendo 3DS to mix things up. Old school gamers will quickly point out that Nintendo has never been very good at naming consoles. Their first American system was the Nintendo Entertainment System, which certainly wasn't very imaginative. Next was the Super NES, which should have been a hint to what we were in store for. Hell, Nintendo would have named their follow-up the Ultra 64 if it wasn't for the tight manufacturing schedule. As much as it pains me to say this, Nintendo's best named systems are the Wii and GameCube. Wait, that can't be right. Nobody realizes that the OJ's For the Love of Money is not a pro-money song. With tax season coming up, H&R Block has created a new batch of insidious advertisements to airdrop on the few people who still watch Constantine. To help spread the word, they've employed the OJ's classic 1973 hit, For the Love of Money. You know, the song that starts out with this memorable bass line. And then eventually repeats this line a whole bunch. Given that these are the only 2 things people know about the song, it's easy to see why advertisers would want to use it. It's actually not a pro-money song. In fact, it's the exact opposite. It's a cautionary tale about the ills of having too much money and the bad things people will do to get it. The song posits that it's not even safe to walk down the street because people want money so badly. For a small piece of paper, it carries a lot of weight. Given this, it seems a bit odd that H&R Block would use a song about burden to promote giving customers a bunch of money. I suspect they know the lyrics contradict their message, but they figure people only care about the money, money, money part. I assume that's the reason Donald Trump continues to use the song at the start of The Apprentice. TV commercials mine for nostalgia. And it sucks. Speaking of advertising, I've noticed a lot of TV commercials have been going out of their way to reference 1980s and 90s nostalgia. Late last year, we saw Honda use Skeletor and other toys to sell cars. Currently, McDonald's is using an ad that sees enemies come together to promote onset childhood diabetes. We see Pac-Man and Inky, Mario and Bowser, Freddy and Jason, and so on. I noticed Ronald McDonald did an attempt to reunite ABBA, because that's never going to happen. These are silly, but not frustrating. For that, we need to go to Macau, which has so much money that they spent $70 million to cast Robert De Niro, Leonardo DiCaprio, and Martin Scorsese in a fake movie trailer advertising casinos. Look, I love Casino, and desperately want De Niro to re-team with Scorsese, but not like this. This is a tease. And then there's this commercial for Wisconsin starring Ted Stryker and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Yeah, this is real. Obviously, this is nothing new. TV commercials have been mining nostalgia for decades. But usually it's a song choice or a subtle nod. These seem a lot more blatant than usual. In a world where everybody is distracted by a dozen different screens, maybe this is what modern advertisers have to do. No matter what, Don Draper wouldn't approve. Hey you! Do you like stories about classic games and their history? Want to know more about retro game magazines? Curious what I think of the newest games? Trying to track down the men who killed your ex-wife? Well, I can't help you with the last bit, Liam Neeson, but you should still subscribe to this channel and support what we're doing here.